Welcome to the as yet untitled PNC podcast. My name is Shugo Chan, but you can just call me Shugo when online. Tonight with me I have a couple guests on the Discord server. I have NightStar. Go ahead and say hello.
Hello.
And TheUnknownWol. He's the one who made the music track.
Thanks. Yeah.
Are you like breathing into the NightStar? Breathing into the mic, NightStar?
I'm just like sighing, but not really. Maybe I am. I'll move my mic away a bit.
Yeah. So yeah, the Splatoon 3 announcement trailer that dropped with the Nintendo Direct that went live a few weeks ago, and so first off, what do we know about this? What do we like? What have we heard about it from others? Like, have you guys heard about anything in particular?
Oh. I remember seeing this tweet where it was this very, very salty person, essentially that there was no general lock option for some reason.
Yeah, yeah, I hate that we didn't get to see the other gender options. That was my watch. So yeah, we didn't get to see the other gender options, probably because they didn't hover over them with the selector on the selector screen with the first selection of the menu, the character customization menu. I was really hoping we would get to see that, but unfortunately we didn't.
I mean, we got to see some gradient eyes. That's pretty unique in my opinion.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm excited for with character creation, the gradient eyes. That's something I'm looking forward to. What about you, NightStar? What have you heard about from others about this trailer?
Well, I haven't heard any much. I did things like the buddy you get.
Oh yeah, the little buddy.
Really cool.
Yeah. Are you using push to talk or voice activity?
Voice activity.
All right. Then it's probably that. You're like cutting out you're like cutting out it's like randomly cutting in and outs.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's all right. That's all right. We can figure that out later.
Also, the new hairstyles for the character.
Yeah,
that's new hairstyles.
Yeah, that segues quite nicely into the next question I've written down in the prompts. What have we noticed in the trailers? I particularly have noticed a lot in the new trailer. But first thing that I want to point out right away is the upside down Eiffel Tower. What the hell caused the Eiffel Tower to go ass over tits?
It's true.
You probably have seen people tweet about it where like, what did Marie do? What did Kelly do?
Yeah. What did Ninja do in Europe? I've seen that meme. Yeah.
I mean, like, that just confirms that we know that Splatsville, which is essentially the plaza for Splatoon 3, is far away from Inkopolis. So we know the relative location would be essentially Paris. There you go.
Near like
our Inklings and Offlings are French.
Like the Eiffel Tower originally.
Yeah, and from the.
But yeah. Seriously, what is it that Eiffel? What?
Go ahead.
Anyways, but it's just it's just like why. Question of mine is like, why is there like an Eiffel Tower, right? And first of all, why is it upside down? How is it upside down?
Yeah. I for one am getting a lot of like Hong Kong vibes when I'm looking at the plaza in Splatsville. I'm getting a lot of like what's the word I'm looking for?
Eastern.
Eastern like a eastern rural neighborhood. It's type of not rural neighborhood. It's like those apartments in Hong Kong that are really tiny.
Yeah.
Those apartment complexes
Ah.
with the laundry lines hanging between the buildings and the posters and rugs hanging off the balconies. I'm getting like serious Hong Kong
So
vibes. Go ahead.
yeah, because people have also mentioned that there's like some sort of snake. There's the snake statue. So I mean, you could be right about that Hong Kong vibes. But then again, Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, and the city in the distance, it also looks a lot like what was that? What's the tower I'm thinking of? The tower in Splatsville looks a lot like one of the tallest buildings in the world, and on the tall buildings index.
Uh,
Uh.
Look that up real
Empire
quick.
State.
Not the Empire State. It's like a trapezoidal building, almost like a tall trapezoid.
Hi.
Tallest.
Might do that. I'm gonna mention something of my research. I have a photo here. So I have a photo here. You guys can't see it, but there's a photo which was a screenshot from the trailer where they showed off what we could presume a special weapon. Essentially, it's like you probably guys don't remember it, but in the trailer they showed off an inkling, essentially shooting out these like lasers of sorts, multiple thin lasers.
Mm.
And then I went to Nintendo's Twitter, which they posted more information, and they did a close up of those lasers, and it looks like there are the Inkling or Octoling shoots these lasers, right? And I'm freaking out at this a little bit, but there seems to be attached at the front of the laser tiny hyper bombs.
Yeah, and so
Wow.
that segues quite nicely into the next question. What do we think the game will be like? It's hard not to comment on a good segue. It's like really hard not to comment on a good segue.
But the game would be people. It's running on the same engine that they made Splatoon 2. It's still gonna be on the Nintendo Switch, hopefully, and most likely. So
who knows?
They
might announce the Switch Pro later this year. The long rumored Switch Pro.
That
maybe.
Maybe. There's like so many leaks for some reason of this Splatoon 3 thing. Honestly, like recently, I just randomly found a video which this person known for hacking Splatoon 2, doing mods, essentially made like the spawn points from Splatoon 3 in Splatoon 2.
Nice.
It was not the best because what it was essentially is imagine the regular spawn point, but it's just shrunken and it's floating up in midair for no reason. It's that.
Yeah. And I also noticed that the respawn anchors this time look like espresso machines. Did you notice that?
They do.
Yeah.
I've seen tweets memeing it.
Yeah, and I have also seen a tweet where, well, not a tweet, but a post in the Splatoon 2 and 3 now 2 and 3 Facebook group that I'm in. It points out that one of the Inklings is hanging by their ear. Ouch.
Really?
Really?
I thought they were just holding onto it with their hand.
No, both their hands are in their weapons, according to that picture.
I never even noticed that.
Yeah,
I didn't.
That looks like it hurts.
Probably, like.
While on the top of.
Yeah.
Let me just hang by my.
While on the topic of. Does that mean Inklings can have piercings easily? Can we get piercings as actual accessories, please?
Yeah. they might have more options for gear as well, like that instead of just
Oh man.
the hats, shirts, and shoes, they could also have clothes. They could also have pants customization options, like specific pant gear, and also some other
I mean,
gear like
mhm.
scarves or necklaces or even earrings for that matter.
That kind of reminds me here. So for Splatoon 1, we got the hero gear, right? And then what they did for Splatoon 2 is that we got an amiibo in which if you scan that amiibo in Splatoon 2, you could get the replica hero gear. So my question is, do you think they're gonna come out with a new amiibo to get, the replica hero gear from Splatoon 2 into Splatoon 3?
That might happen. It might be the same amiibos that like Callie and Mari will be the amiibos that grant those gears. But I have a feeling in Splatoon 3 that they might actually have new idols. That's, that's that they'll have new idols in the game. That's that will be uh, I've lost my train of thought there. That will be turned into amiibo as well, and that will be able to give you the hero gear from the story. Speaking of which, what do we think the game will revolve around? Like, what do we think?
Oh
What do we think
man.
the story's gonna be like? What's like the
All right. I have many theories about that, but I'm gonna let probably NightStar go first.
What I think the story will be about?
yeah
Well, we're basically in like a deserted place. It's like
yeah
I don't really know. I've always thought of it like as like the world turned into this like apocalyptic, everything just
May
deserted
I
or
say
abandoned or
something
like
about that?
Yeah,
like a war.
I mean, Pearl
Basically,
did invoke Article 4 of Splat Festival and the final fest, Order versus Chaos versus Order.
May
Chaos reigns supreme, and that's
I
in that
mean,
Splatfest.
yeah,
all
they're like
right.
getting theories like, oh,
Uh,
I would like to intrude on that topic. Sorry. So Splatsville, according to a tweet from Nintendo of America, it was quickly made actually, like 1.5 years after the final Splatfest, far away from Inkopolis. So overall, the world should not be in post-apocalyptic. If anything, like like the tweet said, it's just gonna be what is called the Splatlands, just the pun of Badlands.
yeah, that definitely sounds like something that's is worth exploring.
But okay,
Yeah,
let me think one.
yeah.
So, well, my theory is when I first saw the trailer before seeing the tweet, my first thought was like, oh, bring back water or something because, you know, you have a little buddy with you, and that little buddy tends to live underwater, but now he's following you, not killing you with a spoon.
yeah.
But after doing, but
what if
apparently
he
doing some
saved its
more.
life?
I mean, there was also a tweet from Nintendo, which they sent a picture of, it was sent on New Year's, around New Year's. It was involved a picture of salmon,
Salmonids.
and in the reflection in the salmonids, and I forgot what the initial word was, but in the reflection, it spelled out SOS. And if you look closely, it's also spelled out "Save Our Salmon."
Hmm.
Oh,
I don't think I ever saw that tweets.
I did
Yeah, I'm not sure
the
if
video.
not sure if I saw it, but yeah. So I guess this next question could also be considered like a part of the previous question. What aspects do we think of, like, do we know about so far of the game? Like, we know that the respawn anchors will be different in this game.
Speaking of respawn anchors, I just wanted to mention, did you know they covered up the flippin'... So the original respawn area is now covered up by some sort of tarp, if you have not noticed that, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, I have noticed that. Maybe it's because when you first start the game, you spawn with those espresso machine respawn anchors, and once the game is in motion, then the respawn anchors at the edge of the stage are activated, and maybe that tarp is not actually a tarp; it's actually like a special type of ink shield or something. I don't know.
I mean, that's pretty...
Yeah.
That's an open idea right there.
Yeah.
Going back to the original question that you asked, what do we know? We know for sure that we're getting weapon reskins or redesigns, and
Yeah.
so far I really like that E-leader.
Yeah, I particularly like the new design of the blaster and other weapons like the Splatling as well.
We also got the new weapon class, the, I guess, bow, splat bow. I don't know what you want to make.
Archer?
Nah, I feel like it would be called splat bow or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got a new weapon class.
Or maybe something
and
like
apparently,
Splat Arrow.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
And I cannot confirm nor deny, but according to some people, that bow shoots 3 shots at once.
Wow.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
And some people further state that you can shoot both vertical and horizontally.
Wow.
I don't see the purpose of the bow shooting vertically, because if it's shooting 3 shots and you're shooting vertically, then what's the point of the extra 2 shots there?
Cover ground.
That would be horizontally.
Oh.
Like maybe if an upward and downward position, you could like maybe the bow will have an attack where you can shoot someone while you're super jumping. That would be a cool thing to put in the sorry, cannot talk tonight. That would be a really cool thing to put in the attack scheme for the splat bow or whatever, splat arrow, whatever it's going to be called.
Or perhaps it's just gonna function like a roller, horizontal vertical flick.
Maybe.
Vertical flick being you can shoot further, but you're covering less ground. Horizontal flick is like, you shoot less, you don't shoot as far, but you're covering more ground, essentially.
Yeah. And I also did notice in the trailer that there was 2 shots. One where the Inkling girl was standing on the ground, and the other was a mid-air shot.
Perhaps they're gonna make use of an extra button. Maybe the what's the button? L button.
Yeah.
Yeah, the L button was never used for anything.
Yeah, they might utilize that for something in Splatoon 3.
Maybe.
Yeah. So speaking of which, what will be carried over from existing games or returning from previous titles? What do you think will return?
Well, we know for sure that Inklings and Octolings are going to be there.
Yeah.
My concern is how are they going to implement the Octolings? Are they going to be like everyone can access them like right off the bat? Are they going to be paid? Are they going to be like unlockable or something? Who knows?
It would be pretty fun if they were unlockable, but I would not buy the game if they were paid.
I would not buy the game because
$20
Octolings
again.
are paid.
Yeah.
I mean, look, all three of us here paid like $400 to play Splatoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the first game I got with my Nintendo Switch was Breath of the Wild, and I think Splatoon 2 was the third or fourth game that I got for my Switch. I'm not sure.
My first
I
game,
never played.
Odyssey, 2000.
Yeah. And I actually did get my Switch in 2017. It's I got it like 6 months after it first came out.
I'm like late to the party here. I mean, I didn't get my Switch till 2018. I probably didn't get Splatoon until like I know I got Splatoon during the summer because I wanted to do something to do during the summer. And I never played Splatoon once, so I don't know what that feeling was like.
Yeah. And that's something I'm also hoping that they'll further elaborate on in Splatoon 3 is like the story. Like, I hope they'll elaborate further on the events after the final Splatfest. And I'm hoping that we'll get to see more of the new Squidbeak Splatoon.
Squidbeak Splatoon? What?
The new Squidbeak Splatoon. The Callie and Mari Agents 1 and 2, Agents 3 and 4.
Oh, I forgot that it was actually called.
Yeah,
here's my I guess critique about that. So we know there's Agents 1 to okay, we know 1 and 2 is Kelly Marie, or 1. No, it's great. Let's just pretend we all know who the agents are. My critique is Agent 8 is the Octoling, but the reason Agent 8 is called Agent 8 is because they were like the 100,000 10,008 subject.
And
yeah, so
Captain
like,
Cuttlefish just
are they
Agent 8?
So for all we know, they're not Agent 8. They're probably just Agent 7.
Yeah.
Could be, but what if Agent?
I mean, Agent 3 was applicant 10,007 in the lore of the Octo Expansion.
Octo Expansion sounds like a fetish. I'm sorry.
So do anyone think we're gonna get an Agent 9 or an Agent?
They're gonna either they have to explain who was Agent 7 or just completely forget about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because most people have speculated that agents. So there's Agents 1 and 2, Callie and Marie. Agents 3 and 4, the unknown Inklings. 5 and 6 could be Pearl and Marina. And so, but we know Agent 8. But who's Agent 7? Will they tell us? Will they reveal who Agent 7 is, or who knows?
For all we know, one of the agents could be Captain Cuttlefish because he's probably the one who started this thing.
Yeah, he was the commander of the old Squidbeak Splatoon in the Great Turf War.
Yeah, he probably could be. Yeah, he could probably be one of the agents, but we just don't know it. I mean, I remember seeing someone just have that theory for some reason.
Yeah.
Plot twist: the small fry is Agent 7.
Oh, that's
oh my god!
That sounds outlandish, but it works. I don't know why, but it feels it feels like that works.
Speaking of the small fry, what do you think the purpose of the small fry would be in Splatoon 3? What would serve its function?
To find other to go in the water.
Like, but like you're in the Splatlands, there's no. I'm pretty sure there's no water nearby.
Imagine if it was their purpose though.
The only reason the small fry isn't attacking you is because this is lore, this is theory that you probably guys not heard of. The reason why the small fry isn't attacking you is because in Splatoon 2, where Summer Run takes place, it takes place near a dam built by Inklings. Just built by Inklings, and that dam is the cause of the salmon run behavior. I don't know why the manual doesn't explain it. The manual says the cause is unknown, but official lore states that it's the dam that Inklings built. So because the Splatlands takes place far away from Inkopolis, that dam probably does not have an effect on that small fry.
Maybe, or maybe the dam is upriver from the Splatlands and caused a drought in the Splatlands.
Oh, that's actually pretty good either. Or perhaps you just took the small fry spoon away.
Yeah, maybe.
Be like, no, bad.
Behave a good small fry if you want your spoon back.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's all the questions I have written down for the Splatoon 3 announcement trailer. But I also have some secondary topics since we have like 4 more minutes left in our half-hour limits. So Splatoon franchise DLC and our experiences. Personally, what have your guys' experience been with the DLC, with the Octo Expansion?
PTSD. But I overcome that. But I still get PTSD every now and then, every time I see a chicken.
I get it every time I see the 8-ball.
Oh, I love
I get
that,
it every
bro.
time I see that cucumber-looking conductor guy.
I mean,
I'm like,
I got the Octo Expansion. Oh, rip. I got the expansion, played it first round, and just unlocked Offling. That's it. Never touched it again. One of my old friends just said, "Hey, you want to see who beats Inner Agent 8 first?" I'm like, oh, "Okay, sure." And then I'm like, "Oh wait, I haven't unlocked it." He was like, "Oh, go unlock it." I'm like, "Okay, fine." So I went through every flippin'. I went through every flippin', whatever stage, I guess. Did it, and I just raged at Inner Agent 3. I just raged. I don't know how many times I died.
3 went God mode. My God.
My God.
Yeah.
I don't even know what my strategy was.
Mine was to just
play carefully.
Yeah,
I would play carefully with the first 4 stages and then just forget everything about myself and just play aggressively on the final stage.
Yeah.
Still haven't beaten.
I haven't unlocked Inner Agent 3 either, and my experiences with the DLC are not pleasant. I remember raging at a lot of levels. A lot of the stations.
I'm gonna do a flex here.
Okay.
Small flex here. I completed every station with every possible weapon. That includes Girl Power Station with all 3 subs.
No way.
Yes. Was it worth it? Yes.
If anybody's gonna talk about one thing, it's if anybody's gonna complain about one thing, it's the mission girl power going in blind, because
going in blind, yes.
Nice.
What weapon did you guys beat for?
I eventually beat the girl power station with the Octo Brush and Tentamissiles, I think.
I think we all used Octo Brush once we realized what was happening.
I used the roller.
I think my first time was either the dual laser charger.
Yeah.
Most of the stages of the DLC that I raged on was the one weapon I couldn't use was the charger, because I don't use potion. So I had to use like the lowest weapon, the scroll jet. The other
Speaking
weapon
of the charger, yeah, I remember that station where you had a charger and you legit had like 1 chance to like explode with the boxes or something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that just sucked. And recently I saw like this tweet from someone.
I two-shotted it.
Yeah, I saw this flipping, not tweet, it was a Reddit post. Essentially, someone shot, and they blew up all the boxes except one. And before they could get the test, before they could get the test failed, they shot the final box.
I just did that first try because like there's no way you can get.
Yeah, it's
Octo Expansion is rough, man.
Yeah, it is freaking hard.
See, I can have people. I can
favorite.
Any particular favorites from that expansion?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and see, but from the top of my head, it would be the stations that required you to the ranked stations, if you know what I mean, and that one station that took you back to the tutorial area.
Oh yeah, mine was the one when you had to shoot the boxes to make the objects.
Oh, those are relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much
sure,
the only relaxing
I might have
thing that I find about the Octo Expansion is the theme for the 8-ball stations. That's the only thing I find relaxing about the Octo Expansion.
Not gonna lie, I wanted to do a remix of that, and then I realized I'm gonna cause a lot of people PTSD. So instead, I sampled. So instead, I sampled the drum kick and the snare, and let's be honest, the drum kick and snare is legit 8-ball sound effects, and I used that in one of my original songs.
Nice.
Just add that subtle PTSD there.
Yeah.
Be like, ah.
Great artist steal, man.
Man, oh, speaking of songs, I have call me scum. I have pirate. Yes, I'm just to say it out loud. I pirated some of them, but they were good songs.
Oh.
Like one of my favorites. What? Hold up. Let me pull up. I think one of them was called like Number 13 Crush. No, I'm sorry. Number 14 Crush. It's essentially it's electro swing, really.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend playing on. I don't want to get copyright claims.
I'm not playing on my dude.
Oh, good thing, because I don't want to get a copyright claim.
You ever want to figure out who actually the actual?
Don't do it.
I'm definitely.
You ever wonder who's the actual?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna credit you for the song that will be edited into the beginning of this podcast episode.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna work on,
Let's go.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our time. We've got 35 minutes down. So yeah. So if for anybody who's listening to this podcast, you can find it on podbean.com, and so far that we're still getting everything together, but we should be able to upload to other sites once we grow a big enough audience. We're starting on Podbean, but we'll be doing more once we have a bigger audience. So
let's go.
Yeah. So
not
everyone remember, it's cool to be a nerd. See you guys next time on Project Nerd Cave. All right. Bye.
Oh.
Bye bye.
Yep.